But I guess we can just start without Kalizo. I'll keep Discord up for whenever he comes in, and we can just add him to call and readjust later. So we'll start this off. Mark, you want the intro this time, or you want me to do it?
Go ahead. Let me turn this Discord up so I can actually hear you. Good. There, good. Yo, we're already getting judgment. 21 million's not enough credits. I will throw
210.
in.
Who's got 210 million credits to give away?
Yeah, I will throw in 6 or 7 accuracy
I
stems.
will throw in a hearty handshake and high five.
Yeah, I will throw in a Coke and a smile.
I already gave away. I gave away so much today,
Yeah, I saw all the stuff you were giving away.
bro. I was amazed. BioWare agreed to that shit, dude.
Yeah,
Dude, we gave away a Revan Reborn set today, and that wasn't even it. Like, oh my god.
Yeah. A high five from Joe. I'll take it.
I have you in this little camera, Mark. You, look at the stream. I don't know what this little cam is doing, but it was just like hanging out in the bottom corner of my screen. Skype is hard. We need some program that will do this. It would be like not opportune. It would be ideal if like Discord had video settings and we could set it up like this.
It's coming.
It
Discord
is?
video's coming.
Good.
It's coming.
Good.
They've been working on it for quite some time, and Discord will take over the world. I'll have like more information. I'm a Discord partner, so like I'll have more like behind the scenes with that.
Hell yeah.
Test and shit.
Good shit. All right, so I'll start this off. What do I usually say? Hello, YouTube. This is TC Thief here. This is the 3rd episode. Are we on 3, Mark? 3rd episode?
I believe so.
I don't know. This is the 3rd episode. We're just gonna call it the third episode of the Ragebrothers podcast. This is a very special episode, fam, because this is Mark. This is his last episode before he deploys to the Syncom area of operations. That's all we can call it right now because we can't say where he's going over a live stream like this. But he's going over to the desert. We'll just say that. So. Once again, special night. Kalizo should be popping in later on. I'm here. You know me. I'm TC Thief. I'm here with TC Me, and we have a special guest tonight. New to the game. Only been playing the game for a couple of months, but he's been essentially drinking from the fire hose. He's learned a lot in the last couple months, but I will let him introduce himself.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name is Joeneverfails. I run a Twitch broadcast, twitch.tv/Joeneverfails. We help the absolute best of the best keyboard turning, mouse clicking casuals out there, boys. I've been doing the best to learn, but I just started playing like 2.5 months ago, and doing my best to expose this video game more to people on Twitch and to help the internet learn that how good this video game is on every single level possible. So I really appreciate you guys having me here.
Yeah, definitely. If you guys haven't followed his channel, man, I've been watching his channel for a good couple of months now. Go check him out. Joeneverfails, just as it's spelt right there on stream. Go check him out on Twitch. Yeah, definitely some fun times over there. But we're gonna get into a couple things tonight. We're gonna talk about the roadmap, but that's gonna be probably towards the end of the stream. Hopefully Kalizo comes in here pretty soon. We want to talk about some healer stuff that we want to see coming to the game. We haven't been streaming that much. Mark usually streams. I usually stream. We haven't been streaming that much lately because we've been on the PTS, man, and we can't talk about the PTS, obviously. But, I mean, I can neither confirm nor deny that the new boss is awesome. All right? I can say that, right, Mark? Can I say that?
I don't know.
Confirmed.
I neither confirmed or denied that the new boss is awesome, but yeah, we've been hitting the PTS up, man. Can't wait for that shit to come out. It's gonna be freaking awesome. Dude, the dev team has done such a great job on these first 2 bosses. I hope they keep them coming exactly as they are. But Mark, haven't heard from you, man. You got anything to say, bro?
I don't have anything to say right now except hello and thanks for having us and watching us.
Definitely. If we could get somebody to post the roadmap in the stream, I'll pull that up and we'll talk about that later. But so the first thing we want to talk about tonight is a couple of the healers, which Cal, when he comes here later, there we have some like input for the devs, or we want to talk about some like issues that we have with healers off DPS. And for those of you out there that don't do off DPS on a healer, you're a scumbag. Start doing off DPS on a healer when the bars are full. All right, it is your job as a healer to do off DPS. Don't ever let anybody tell you that it's not your job to do some off DPS. So, but the big thing is the Merc. So if you take the Merc, for example, the Merc has an auto attack 30-meter range that you can generate a lot of off DPS by just doing a auto attack, and also you're actually building stacks of supercharged gas, which helps you in the healing. So and you stand that next to a Sork healer. The Sork healer literally has no ranged attack, which keeps you force positive. You have to use force lightning, which is going to take you force negative. So in comparison to Sork to Merc, just the output of healing and the repercussions for doing off DPS, they just don't match up. So we want to see that change. I mean, what do you got to say about this, Mark? I've heard you and Cal and Kalizo bitching about this, but what say you?
Yeah, I can talk a little bit about that. I mean, it's not that huge of a deal. I'm reading chat right now. I think you're misunderstanding Mac. All he's saying that you could stand there and auto attack for free on a Merc and do, essentially like 2.5k DPS, whereas on a Sork you can't do that.
Exactly.
You have to spend your GCDs either consuming, and if you're doing DPS, you can do DPS, but you can't do as much as Merc. But
I mean, they're gonna beg the question that, oh, you can saber strike. Like, okay, that's dumb.
Yeah. He was saying force slow, it's force positive. Anyways,
oh my God, I think we're getting trolled. Whatever.
I just the disparity is definitely there. Additionally, onto the like melee range thing with the, I mean, I don't even know if this is worth bitching about, but
do you not foresee any of this coming in the future, like them, because I mean, you could really see the disparity between a Merc and a Sork. Like, just Sorks get devastatingly punished for doing off DPS, and on a Merc, you really don't. So,
yeah, I mean, he's right. Force slow does do decent damage. However, it costs force. It's not free, and it does less than a Merc's auto attack. Like, that's an issue. And yes, we will talk about that in a second, Zalix, about the operatives. Yeah, but the point is, on as an off DPS as healing the Merc, you can do way more output for damage than you can on a Sork. And now if a Sork just destroyed a Merc healer in healing, I guess it would be okay, but it doesn't.
Yeah. And then the first thing was the disparity between Sorks and Mercs. The other one that I really want to bring up that I've heard Zalix bitch about it a lot. So you have the classes, which all three heal classes are supposedly range class. You can cast all of the abilities at 30 meters. And so operatives, their DPS, aside from rifle shot and corrosive dart, you can't use any of them. You have to be in range of the boss, which... Like, I don't want to be that guy that's like, it's not fair, but like, really, it's not fucking fair. You know what I mean? Like, you got operative that does like decent off DPS, but like, you literally have to run up to the boss and shiv the boss. I mean, Toxic Haze, that's an AoE, yeah. But like,
it costs you. It costs you TA.
So I just think they need to balance some of the off DPS things. I don't think they had that in mind when they made all the melee class adjustments and the range class adjustments, like i.e. Power Tech has like Shatter Slug and all that. I think they just painted it with a broad brush and just kind of forgot the healers, and I think they need to show some of the healers love, or somebody needs to put some tweaks in there somewhere.
Yeah, like I said earlier, I'm not sure this is what we should have started off with. However, we have hit this point, but the point is not to compare abilities on the operative and do in damage. It's the operative is essentially punished because its DPS specs are melee ranges, therefore its DPS abilities as a healer are melee based, whereas the other two benefit from their other off specs being ranged. By no other purpose, like it wasn't obviously designed like that. It's just how it kind of came to be, you know.
How it kind of worked out.
Basically, to jump in here real quick, just so I can get a little bit of an understanding, and so hopefully we can like address this to a little bit more of a like if anybody's listening from a casual perspective, because this is all what you guys are talking about is like veteran plus content. Correct?
Absolutely.
Healing. Yeah. So for me, from my standpoint, number one, like you're talking to the most elite and progression through most elite content in the game, where there is going to be a detriment to selecting one or two of the healer classes, or two of the classes have ranged damage abilities and the other one is melee, correct?
Yeah. So
Okay.
what this is all boiling down to is in like the veteran mode ops, not so much, but in Nightmare ops, healer off DPS like matters. You know what I mean? Like, when healers can do off DPS, it makes everybody's life easier. The more DPS you do, the easier bosses become. Like we've seen teams just with utter shit tanks been able to clear Nightmare content just because they go in and they brute force their way. Like DPS makes everything easier.
DPS is a mechanic. It's a mechanic in higher level content.
So just want to see some balancing of the healers off DPS. I think like it gets thrown by the wayside because it's not really important. People don't look at the importance of it, but from a Nightmare Raider perspective, like it matters. And I think as the game's been on, it hasn't been shown that much love. I just think it's a point of contention that needs to be shown some love.
So question for both of you guys. One of the things that I've had a bit of experience in my career doing when talking to developers and talking to community team, the sentiment and reaction of this is broken, fix it, is something that only gets people so far. Like what for you guys who are involved in it, like you guys play these classes 100%, like you know the abilities, where do you see like changes to be made? Like what improvements would you suggest that could make it a lot easier for people to play these classes, or what would like for just the melee class?
So I could
the melee ranged healer.
Yeah, I could tell you on the Sork is easy. The Force Lightning hits for a lot less than it does on a regular DPS Sork. I'd say either make the Force Lightning free and make it like your auto attack, like compared to Merc. And do something like that on the operative as well. Like give those two classes something that is free, number one, so they don't have to use healer resources, and is as good as the Merc rapid shots, which I mean literally you can do 2k DPS if you just sit there and spam rapid shots. So
now, just side note question from my end, like not knowing anything about it as well, if that class were to get buffs, like allow for itself to have better heals because it doesn't have the DPS output, is that something that you would like to see in the game, or would you rather have more DPS?
See, this is an age-old question. This goes back, I've talked about this a lot of times. From a dev perspective, you cannot overbuff classes without taking everything into consideration, PvP and PvE. So if you buff a Sork in PvE PvP more than they are now, they will be OP more than they are now. And so this takes us back to, I think that there should be a button that you click, which means, hey, this is my PvP button. This specs me, or this adjusts my class to PvP, and this button adjusts my class to PvP or PvE, excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, I think that may be like a future thing, but I don't think that's realistic to even strive for, to be honest.
So it's like literally just you lose the DPS if you play. It's Sork. If you play a Sork healer in Nightmare mode raids, you just you have nowhere near the amount of DPS output.
Yeah, I mean, there's DPS there, like there's an off DPS rotation, and it's decent, but it's just not the same as a Merc. And the goal would not bring the Merc down, because the healer off DPS isn't overpowered. It's just from a balancing perspective, they're not really the same.
Word.
But let's come off this subject. I don't want to flame.
Yeah, like I said already, like 3 times. I don't know why we started with this.
So
this was a bad idea.
I don't know. I'm just trying to find out more information.
You have
about
3 non-healers in here talking about healing,
right, dude.
but at least we're talking about DPS on a healer because I like DPSing when I heal. So that's it. So what are we gonna move on to, Mark? What do you want to talk about?
Did you want to hit the roadmap or did you want to wait for
Let's hit the roadmap last and let's talk to Joe. Let's just take this time to talk to Joe and see what he's thinking about the game. So as a player that's been in this game since, I mean, I haven't been in this game as long as Mark, but I've been playing since 2012, Mark? Is it 12?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I came in the DP time frame, and I remember getting my first carry, not my last because I get carried all the time, but it was my first carry through DF and DP. And knew me, it was the group of Hate You. Back then it was Pervectus, and I remember just getting hooked. I played this game and they took me in a hard mode raid, and I was like, I love this. This shit is awesome. I want to keep playing it. And there's been history from there. But it's been awesome seeing Joe come into this game and start this game. And I got together with the boys. I was like, yo, we got to take Joe in hard mode, dude. We got to get this guy hooked, dude. And I just want to know, like, how's it been the last couple months from a new player perspective, man? How was it coming in with us and raiding the hard modes? How has been just the whole experience?
Honestly, man, like I'm gonna throw this out there, and anybody can say whatever the fuck they want about it at the end of the day. But like the going through terms of service, going through Temple of Sacrifice with you guys, it is hooking me. Like from my perspective, from being an outside player rating Savage Mode content in Final Fantasy 14, the number one reason why I wanted to investigate Star Wars: The Old Republic outside of like seeing what the PvP has to offer is the PvE instances at endgame that are harder than average, that are more difficult. I honestly wasn't prepared for Nightmare. I thought I'd be able to come in because Nightmare, I was very skeptical. I was like, Nightmare's not going to be as hard as Savage. And from me going into Temple of Sacrifice with you guys and getting up to Revan and seeing the mechanics and seeing the chaos, I want to do more content like that in this game, and I want to continue to progress. It's one of those things for me I have a competitive nature, and I feel like a lot of video gamers also have a nature like that, where you can come in, you can get in the story, and you can go into PvP and play on the surface level, and that can give you entertainment to a certain point in time. And then you want to know what else the game has to offer you. And that's what veteran mode rating is. And then nightmare mode rating is another step, but you have to make a serious decision to get there. For me, from my end, it was such a blast. It was such a blast getting carried through. Like I don't know the mechanics. I can listen to call outs. I can respond to what you guys tell me to do, but I don't understand. So I wouldn't be able to teach somebody else. And like Meat, like you, like Thief, you tell me what to do, but don't tell me why. And Meat tells me why I need to do what I do. And that helps me a lot. You know what I mean? So it's such a blast to play with players, and I look up to all you guys because you're where I'm at in another game, and that's why I've got a ton of respect and support everything that you guys do here.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I can jump in a little bit there because I have experience in FF. Killed AS12 all the way up, so I've done the Savage, in both games, and it's like you always get people saying, "Oh, that other game, it's fucking easy, dude. It's whatever," and. Like until you experience for yourself, they're both difficult in their own rights. I mean, Final Fantasy, it's a very difficult game. Some of the in-game stuff is very difficult, but that's not to say this stuff in this game is easy. It's just they're different games, different mechanics. But I'm glad you came over, and I know just whether directly or indirectly you're bringing players into the game, and I really appreciate it like that. I think that's really good for the game.
It's one of those things that especially with the roadmap. Is Kalizo coming in?
Is he here?
My bad. It's one of those things where like it's so crazy to play a game that is more visible on Twitch, and to then come into a game like this where people talk so much shit. People talk so much shit about Star Wars: The Republic, and it's completely unwarranted. Like the game has a ton of content. It's got difficult raids. It's got really fun PvP. It's got an incredibly high level of skilled PvP. Like a lot harder. I think a lot harder than if you're going to play it at a high level. Like I got absolutely freaking obliterated in ranked PvP. Like people sent me death threats and told me to kill myself in PvP because I was so bad. And I was just like, dude, it's not going to stop me from playing.
On
But
SWTOR?
yeah, dog, straight up. I was like, oh, this is not conducive to a learning environment right now.
Solo ranked is definitely not that.
I could have told you that.
Oh my God,
like,
man.
if you're gonna go do solo ranked and you're not experienced with it, man, just turn off chat. Just don't even turn on chat. Just go in there and do your thing, dude.
Dude, I felt like I should uninstall the game. I mean, I was rethinking my entire existence at that point.
Not
I was
only,
like, oh.
not only do they troll you in the match, they'll go back to Fleet. And if they're on pub
Oh,
side,
yeah.
they will
Oh, yeah.
come to imp side to flame you, man.
Yeah.
They come in stream too. I'm just like, where? I can't stop, man. I just ruined someone's day.
That's so
bad.
funny though, because everyone goes back to the fleet to queue, you know. So
Yeah.
fuck that shit. Don't let it bother you. Whatever.
Yeah, I say
It
you
never
do.
bothers me. It's just,
Well, my thing
it's
is,
one of those things where like,
how are you gonna get better? You know what I mean?
That's
if you
what I
don't,
mean.
if you
That's
don't
what I
do
mean.
it, how are
So-
you gonna get better?
Guardian.
I constantly try to frame my mind. I constantly try to frame my mind around like, what would it be like? Because I'm a new player right now. Like I'm an incredibly average player. At best, I'm an average player in this game, and it's not conducive. It is not at all. Like it doesn't help when players do that. It actually hurts. So like for players that play PvP, one thing that I try to help people realize is frame the perspective around a more like a bigger, more broad understanding than like just how it affects you. So if somebody doesn't know what they're doing, instead of stopping what you're doing and talking shit, do your best. Like what I would suggest is like, do your best to say, hey dude, you're not guarding this guy. You're not doing this move. I know I've noticed you do this and do this instead. Like there's a way easier way to be constructive. And it's like actually takes less effort than talking shit to somebody. So like I really don't think it's tough because it is a very niche area of the game with the ranked PvP in this game. It's very, very niche, but I'm incredibly in awe of the amount of people, the people that play this game at a high level, because it's something that I don't understand. It's something that I can't do as well. So like the guys that play PvP at a very high level, I've got nothing but respect for, but I'm sure that there's more people that would like to break in, but are incredibly scared to do it because they don't want to have to kill themselves to play, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's super funny that you mentioned that kind of stuff, because it's totally true if you if you get into those things. But you gotta get in and do it, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But
But
it's like cutting your teeth, you know. It's like
You don't get tough skin if you don't get pelted, man.
yeah, my thing is like, instead of helping you out, they just like totally tear you down. Instead of like saying, hey Joe, you're on a marauder, man, could you throw out a fear and like fear everybody, you know, or can you throw a choke up and choke the healer? Like they don't try to help you out. They're like, fuck you should fucking kill yourself, you stupid asshole. Like, why are you playing my game? Like,
I get so scared. I get so scared, man. I curl up in a ball and I just sit there in my life, breathing heavy. I'm just like, why do I play video games that tell me to do this? You know, I break down. You know, I cry myself to sleep many nights in a row.
Yeah. That's why I always say the regs is the place to like actually learn how to PvP. If people are flaming in regs, they're just fucking retards. Like regs should be the place that people go to like learn and stuff. And then ranked, I mean, your first couple of games of ranked, dude, you're just gonna get crushed, man. Like I got globaled on my gunslinger. I was playing on TRE the other night, and just dude, pub side PvP is AIDS, because like I think
it's really bad.
All of the most terrible players in the game are on the Republican side, dude. So like just brutal, and you're queuing with the like when you're imp side, you're like it's so you might get good players, you might get like not good players, but like on pub side, it's sure that all four of you are shitty. If you know what I mean? So
I felt very comfortable on the pub side PvP. No, but like for me, when I first started playing PvP and got into a couple matches, like I didn't know what the hell was going on, and I had a really quick learning curve. So I found out exactly how to play. Once I understood the objectives of the maps, I started being effective, and that started picking up, and having people that are involved in the community that are receptive to teaching and like available for teaching is such a beautiful thing. So I learned it really quickly, and it's actually really fun. So all regs PvP is. It's really fun. Like it's nonstop pops imp side, no matter what. You're playing games all day and you're having a blast. And my first couple 4v4 games, like I had issues, but I actually got pulled into some ranked group matches by God damn. Kaliza, were you there? Were you there with me?
I don't know.
I don't remember who pulled me in. My first couple matches, they gotta be in chat. But these guys were like, "Yo, Joe, we're gonna pull you in," and they pulled me into ranked 4v4 as a tank and just told me everything. They're like, guard this, guard this, guard that, and I was receptive. I listened, and we did well. Like we won several matches in a row, and that was like my first and second and third and fourth matches ever as a jug tank. And these guys were flipping out. Like the guys on the other team were like, "How the fuck is this possible? Oh my god, he's the chosen one." I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'm just fucking listening." Like that's all there is to it. I really like the PvP in the game, and like the game itself, it's structured in a way that it leads a player through their like whatever avenue you want to find, like going from story to end game to raiding, or a story to end game to PvP. It's like it's very, very easy to get involved and very, very easy to progress through. And then it's like upon yourself. So the player has to say, like, for me, if I want to get better, I have to go apply myself now. I have to reach out to find information that's more than what I'm going to find in the game. I need to find people. I need to find a community that knows more than me. And that's where broadcasters come in. That's where community creators come in, content creators come in, and people that create content on YouTube. It's what we do for a living. You know what I mean? That's like literally what we do.
I will tell you this though, man. Like you're at a disadvantage already because you stream.
Oh yeah,
not because of skill or anything, because you stream. Like you don't know how you do not know how many times like I'm like, why am I getting tunneled, dude? And like people answer in Twitch chat, they're like, yeah, we put a cog on your head. The whole freaking team is focusing you just because you stream.
People just hate me because of that, like off the rip. So it's like I understand, and it is what it is, but that's I'm not gonna complain about it. You know what I mean? Like it's a blessing. Life's a blessing for that. So
yeah, definitely.
Chris?
What's up, Cal?
Get me in the call. Let's get ready to go. Again, like I said, I don't have too much time.
That's one thing that going back to what you were saying, like there's a really bad vibe from this game that you get from everybody else. It's all the people that played the game for the first month and quit and just fucking talk shit. And this game has like the worst fucking reputation ever. But it's such a great game because there's so much to do. If you're brand new to the game, there's a fucking ton of shit to do.
It's such a puzzling thing because like one of the ways that this community strives, and one of the ways that this community like thrives, is on new players. Like new players come into the game, they realize that they want to do more than just the story, so they have to subscribe. And at that point, there's a very, very it's a very important thing that happens. So a player will then either find a community that is positive and friendly, and they'll learn from it and grow and continue playing, or they'll encounter a situation that is incredibly toxic and get scared and not play. So like that's the type of thing. And like I'll be very, very direct and open about it. Like this game needs more people that focus in the positive. It needs a lot more people that focus on the positive, on the creative content side of things. And from today, like literally from today, as an example, BioWare wants to support content creators that are positive. Like that is like, people can say whatever the fuck they want about me, but I'm doing the best I possibly can to pave the way for more people to be involved from the BioWare side of things, because for too many years and for way too long, people have talked shit and turned people away from wanting to be involved. And very easily, like I haven't done a lot of anything, man. Like I just put people together in a place and we talk about the game and we learn the game and we play the game. We don't focus on anything personal. We keep it very, very low key, and we just play and celebrate the game for what it is. And then at some point, people that meet me, I direct to like guys like you. And I say, if you really want to know about this game, you got to find somebody better than me, because I can't teach you that much. I can't do anything other than like understand leveling to a certain extent, you know?
Yeah, definitely. And that's what I want to try to do, is get a positive atmosphere, because there's like a lot of salty old players that have been playing forever that know everything, that are just like negative, just generally negative. And they have a right to be, absolutely, because of the ebbs and flows of game and how it's gone. But I want this game to continue going. I want more content, so I want more people to generally enjoy it. So
I'll be really honest too, like real quick, like there are some things coming in this game. If you guys had just paid attention to the roadmap, like I can't talk about a lot of stuff, but like there are some things coming that are going to be really awesome quality of life changes that should make this game a lot more accessible and conducive to long-term subscription, like wanting people to continue to play, like just on a very, very simple basis. Like if you just read the roadmap, and finally, if you guys realize this, like BioWare is, and this is just from the 3 months I've been playing this game, like BioWare is a lot more open with explaining what they want to do, how they want to do it, and exactly how they're going to execute that, and explaining that to the public. Like today, we got a good inside look at the development process, the community process, and the artistic process of SWTOR in general. So like for people that sit there and get pissed and complain while still staying subbed to the game, it doesn't make any sense and it doesn't do anybody any good. Like just drop your sub if you're not happy, man. Go play WoW. Go play Hello Kitty Island Adventure 2. Just stop.
That's what I never understood. Like dudes are like they're all content to sit here and piss and moan, but they're like still playing the game. It's like if you loathe the game that much, just go do something else.
Yeah, but there's it's weird like continuum, and I'm not gonna mention the guy's name, but if you're on the Harbinger and you know that dude on the fleet, I log on at 7:30 in the morning, this dude's bitching. I come home for lunch, this dude's bitching. I come home at 5 o'clock, this dude's bitching about the game all day long, but he's logged on for like 15 hours. Like I don't understand it. It's like weeks and weeks and weeks and months at a time. So it's like I don't get it, man. But you know, whatever, I don't care. If they want to log in and pay their sub and fucking log in and talk shit on the fleet, that's fine. That helps too.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, their sub pays just as much for everybody else.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's making the game better. But either way, like, so the devs have done a full 180 with what they were doing and they've gotten back into ops, which is the big thing. Like, I think with you streaming ops and you continue to stream like the ops, you know, and put it out to the younger players and get them into the in-game stuff and get them doing that, I think that they'll realize that that's where the money's at. Because if you think about it, that's where the money's at, man. Like, I don't even want to go over my cartel coin ledger with you because it is fucking embarrassing, dude, that I have spent this much on a game. Like, I could probably have a car that I could just drive, like a drive around car, for the amount that I've spent on cartel coins, dude.
Or your kids could have clothes, you know, whatever.
food on my table.
Yeah.
But
it's for me, from my end, it's one of those things where like the two things that I love most about this game require subscription. So I play a lot of story mode to celebrate the game and to introduce that game to my community, because a lot of my community comes from other games, BDO, ESO, Final Fantasy 14. And once they see just how interactive and how enjoyable the story is, that leads them into wanting to be involved in raids. And story mode raids in this game, like you could literally continue to play story mode raids for months and get a lot of enjoyment out of it as you progress your gear. Like I go through it at a blistering pace because I play 8 to 12 hours of games a day. But continuing to raid is something that I plan on doing. One of the things that I really am impressed with BioWare about is they understood, even though it may have taken a very long time and many years to do this, but they understood that the massively multiplayer content and the group content is what this game needs and what this community is craving. And they told us, and they planned on giving it to us, and they're giving it to us as they're making it, instead of saying, hey, we're going to do this, and in 8 months you're going to see an entire raid cycle. No, we're seeing it every 2 months or every 3 months now. They're giving us another boss, which is really impressive, because they know they're choosing to spend the development while other things are being changed, while they're making improvements to many other things at the exact same time. They're continuing to give us raids as quick as they make them. And that's not something that you see with a lot of other games, you know, and people talk so much shit about the development cycle, and it's like, you've got to give them some credit, man.
And that's the thing, like when you see the difference of the BioWare, I guess, that we had before to the BioWare we have now. I mean, Keith, in the very short time that he's even been on board as like the lead game developer, it's a night and day difference. I mean, I think there's more forum posts from him in a week than. I'm not even gonna touch that.
Keith is the man, by the way. Like, I got a chance to shake his hand and look him fucking face to face as a man and talk to him this week, like yesterday and today. He is the fucking man. He is so passionate about this video game. I've got so much respect for him, dude. I have so much fucking respect for him.
Yeah. In our conversations, Keith is like, there's no one better, I think, that could be in the position that needs to be.
I mean,
Really?
this is a thing. I was talking to Mark, and like we raid at odd hours. Like we raid at like at night, you know what I mean? And he's with us at night. Like he is putting in some hours, so you know he cares about the game, you know what I mean? It is good to have somebody that cares about the game as much as I do, you know what I mean? Like for somebody to show that amount of dedication and like, you know, spend the time after hours, like after everybody in BioWare goes home, Keith is there like freaking, you know, slamming out, you know,
Well, it's a different guy, but you know.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
or not Keith. Yeah, I'm not
Anyways.
gonna. I can't mention names, but there's a guy that is freaking putting in time with us. All right.
But I mean, that's only. There are more. Like the team itself.
Yeah, it's not just one person. The entire team is incredibly passionate about its success. The entire game as a whole.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing that lights the fire underneath me is like we have us, a lot of people who are very positive about the game, the development team, you know, Keith, and the list goes on. This is a game that we've loved. We've always loved it. It's been around for a while now, and like we're just getting back to a spot now where it's growing, it's getting better, and I'm excited about it. To be honest with you,
I got taken aback today at BioWare because like within like I felt like I was just going to be in a back room streaming today. Like, and number one, like the opportunity by itself opens a lot of doors for more people in the future. I'm so excited about it. Like they're incredibly receptive to it. They're literally 10 minutes down the road from my house here in Austin, which is so crazy. I thought they were so much farther away. I walked in and their senior executive brand director came into the room and was like, I just want to let you know I've been watching you and having fun watching you enjoy this game, and like I get ideas from the stuff that you guys do on the stream, and I just sit there like I'm a gamer, dude. Like I'm just literally a gamer and a community leader. Like it's all I do. Like that type of stuff is influencing the people. Like the entire office is watching the broadcast and paying attention to the game, you know. And a lot of people's names were brought up. Like TC, I talk about you a lot, bro. I talk about you a lot, and other people that deserve a lot more attention in this community because like I just started doing this, but you guys who have been doing this for a long time and have a lot more knowledge than I do deserve a lot more attention. And the community team is all on board for it, man. They're all on board for it.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, it shows in like some of the stuff they've done. It shows that they are paying attention, which it makes me feel good, man, that they're actually like paying attention to us and stuff. Like, I don't know. I'm not a story guy. Mark's not a story guy. I like my space bar is literally crushed.
You can't say it's not good though. Like, even though you don't enjoy it, it's still good.
Okay, so I will put it like this: when I'm at work, I've watched the storyline like on YouTube.
It's entertaining.
like when I play.
I'm just kidding.
I'm just kidding. When I come to play like when I want to play games, like I'm playing SWTOR, like I want to kill shit, man. I don't care about no story.
No,
I want to kill shit, dude. But yeah,
this is how I watch the story. Like that.
He's not pressing the space bar. Why is he not pressing the space bar? Yeah. But I don't know. Kudos to the story team. They did a good job.
But but that's the thing. Like you can love this fucking game so much, and hate the story and not play it.
Yeah.
And you're not limited by anything. That's one thing that I love this game so much more than Final Fantasy.
Well, it's got so much.
Hated that shit.
I gotta agree with you, man. Like I skipped all the story. Like Final Fantasy was my first MMO, and I skipped through everything because I wanted to get to the meat and potatoes. I wanted to get to the battle. I wanted to gear up. I wanted to progress. I wanted to level. I wanted to learn my rotation and be the best possible player I could be. And I thought I was going to do the same thing in Star Wars, and I fell in love with the story. I fell in love with the story really quick, and I'm a big nerd, so it's like really easy for me to do that. But like I really do respect the company that puts the time and the effort into it because it pulls you in. It's addicting. The story is really engaging.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like
even if it's not your favorite part. You know,
yeah, and that's okay.
Well, that's what makes the game good. There's something for everybody. You know what I mean? Like you could totally love the story and hate in-game rating and PvP, and spend a massive amount of time playing this game. When at the other end of the spectrum, like you could hate the story, or like it's not that I hate the story. I just don't. I can't be bothered. You know, I want to kill shit. That's it. But there's like something for everybody in this. You know, which makes the game so awesome. So I think that's. I don't even know what we got off on a freaking tangent, man. I don't know what we were talking about, but it must have been fun. You guys want to go over the roadmap now? You know, open up the roadmap, Mark.
Yes.
All right. I got the roadmap pulled up on the stream. I'm not gonna read. You want to read through this, Mark?
I can't read very well. So.
I don't read good.
There's actually like 4 or 5 big points to talk about. And generally,
let's just.
There's a lot of text, but there really not that many big points.
Yeah. I need to find that thing. I didn't click on it earlier. Can you put that in Discord chat?
I'll put it in the stream. You guys can go follow along if you want. Let us see.
It's basically the general outline for the whole thing is gameplay direction, ops, PvP, quality of life, and then schedule.
Yeah, I want to hit on, before we get started, we don't even have to talk about this. I want to hit on the quality of life changes. There's been awesome quality of life changes throughout the last year to 6 months. And like a lot of people have been saying like, oh, it should have been in the game the whole time. Like it should have been in the game the whole time. And it's like hindsight is 2020, man. Like, you know what I mean? Like you can't just be happy that it's in it now, man.
Exactly.
Like, stop flaming.
Celebrate the fact that it's coming instead of complaining about something else. Like, thank you, BioWare. Thank you.
Additionally to that, if it wasn't that you'd be complaining about, it'd be something else. So what's the fucking difference, man?
Yeah.
Yep.
But I just want to give him kudos on that. There's I mean, with the legacy XP perk and all the hundreds of quality, like we have a galaxy map now. Remember when dude, we can go to every single freaking speeder point. Remember the struggle, Mark? Remember how it was? I can't get to that side of the planet. There was no fucking summoning. I have to drive.
Can we just for 1 second just focus on the most important thing? In that roadmap right there.
Mount speed.
Yes.
100%.
Yes, 100% the mount speed.
100%, dude.
Wait. 120. No, wait. 130%.
Yep. 130%. Let's focus on that.
Mount speeder, yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad they're doing that. Definitely.
No, but like I think there's even something of there's an underlying to that though too, right? Because I believe the mount speed before couldn't go fast because I don't know, the rumor was that the servers couldn't handle it like any faster than 110, the servers would blow up or something. I don't know. But just to hear that now that's a possibility to increase that, I mean, it shows me that we have better servers. There's been investments into the game, you know, not only as far as like how it looks, the graphics of it, the quality of life and everything. There's so much to be excited about, so much to look forward to, and I mean, this roadmap is a perfect example. Just getting back, first of all, to the point where we actually have a roadmap, and we're putting out a roadmap on time, might I add. Like that, I'm happy. I'm happy.
Yeah. So in this roadmap, I haven't even looked, but I've heard people talk about the nightmare content, and like I don't know what's going on with nightmare content, but talking to Yobu, talking to other players, man, the original, like, not agreement, but the original thing that they put out was they were going to release one nightmare per boss after the first boss was released after that. And now there's rumors that they're not going to release it to the end. Like, at this point, I'm not really concerned with the nightmare content. Like, I think the nightmare content should all be released at the same time. They should have that testing time on the forums or on the PTS. And then after it's tested, they should release it all at once, because that is the progression race. That's why I hear people complain all the time, oh, the new nightmare boss isn't out. It's like, dude, like we got new bosses, and like I'm not who's tired of Tithe here? Who's tired of hard mode Tithe? Are you tired of it yet, Mark? Like, I have fun every time I go in there. Are you tired of it, Cal? Yeah.
Well, as a healer, I mean, no, I'm kidding. No, it's fine.
Yeah, they didn't make it harder for a healer because it's boring. But
yeah, so next month they're about to release the next bosses, and is it next month?
Yeah, it's June now. So
yeah, it's June.
June. So next month in July, they're about to release the next bosses, and I'm not tired of Tithe yet. And I'm gonna make a assertion. I don't think I'm gonna be tired of the next boss by the time the next boss comes out. So I think they've accomplished their goal of keeping people occupied. I mean, maybe I'm easily occupied and stuff. I got ADD. I'm always looking at birds and stuff. But I think they've completed their goal in doing that. So I think they need to keep that up and release all the Nightmare at the end and make that the race for progression for the hardcore raiders out there, because like I said, I'm not tired of Tithe. I've had a lot of fun doing that boss, and it's fun.
For me, from my standpoint, like I just started playing the game, so this is like probably the perfect time for anybody to get involved in it. But to know that the group content is what everybody's wanting, and for me, like I have all the group content in the game to do, so like I'm satisfied no matter what. But to just think and frame my mind around your guys' perspective, like to know like right now they are developing more raid content and it's going to continue to be fun. There's 2 or 3 more after Sisters of Carnage that are coming. It's going to be 5 bosses in Tithe. Is that correct?
Yeah. Gods of the Machine. Yeah.
So 5 bosses in Gods of the Machine. And then after you get through all of those, you're going to have Nightmare to get back to continue to do after that. I mean, that's a lot of content for people to come back into this game and wants to gear up again and wants to play. So like it's so crazy when it's such an easy hook for me to say to people that are coming back or finding the stream or finding your stream to say, hey guys, by the way, like you guys who progressed through Karagas and stopped years ago, or you guys who got to DFDP and stopped, or got to whatever and stopped, like now is the time. If you want to continue to play, it's the perfect time to come back and get ready.
Yeah,
it definitely is. Or really new players. I mean,
absolutely.
There's like, I'm kind of envious of you in that, right? Because like right now you have so much to do. It's all your level, and like none of it's over level. It's not easy, you know.
So I have a max level tank, max level Marauder, and I'm going to be doing a healer next. So I'll be able to get the perspective from 3 different directions as opposed to like just being melee or melee DPS. And that's what I'm excited to do.
What healer class are you going to choose? Don't listen to Cal.
Definitely not. Yeah, definitely not picking the one that doesn't get the DPS. That's for sure. I don't know anything about them. I haven't done any of the research. I know that one is more specifically in single target heals, and one is AOE. And I'd like my favorite class is White Mage. So let me ask you this: like, what is the most similar class to White Mage in Final Fantasy 14 to SWTOR?
Let me think for a second. It's really hard. I'd probably say Sork-ish, okay, but they're different.
Yeah. So while you're thinking about that, give them a freaking educated answer.
Well, Operative is the most like Scholar to me, at least.
Yeah, Operatives have lots of AoE.
Fast spot heals and shields.
Yeah. I'd say Ops have a lot of AoE, and they can like their probes is like a really proactive healing. Like Sage or Sork is like a reactive burst healer class, like you can burst people up. And then the Merc is like a combination of the both of them. They have decent bursts and they have decent AoE, and you have the probes. I mean, would you agree with that? But the best thing about the Merc is freaking the off DPS. The amount of DPS that the freaking Merc can put out is just, it's like having a really shitty DPS in the group, but he's a healer.
I'll be honest, like Joeneverfails is a real thing. So like I love putting my team at danger to do DPS. It's like my favorite thing in the whole world, and like lower level content. So it'll probably be Merc that I pursue, but yeah. I want to play a class that it has utility. So like when you guys tell me and talk about like what the DPS threshold is, and then also the utility that a class can bring to end game, that's like what I get really interested in, and being able to be an asset to my team at any level. But specifically for right now, you guys know me like story mode, and then story mode is where I want to cut my teeth, and then eventually get to a place where I can get carried by somebody else really good that is also playing my class that I can learn from. Like, well, that's where I want to be.
Aside from TOS and Ravagers, the hard modes that are out there, I'd say TFB, DF, and DP, and SNV, they're a little difficult, but not compared to TOS and Ravagers. Those are really difficult hard mode operations. So
yeah, but I still set my bar. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
you know where I come from. When we did that, dude, like I was judging my DPS. I was looking to see the places where I was missing my uptime, and I wanted to improve consistently throughout the entire time. And I thought I was doing okay. Like, I probably was doing average at best, but I thought I was doing all right. Like, I want to be able to fail at harder content than coast through easy content. That's where I come from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody said something in stream that I want to address right away. Somebody said Merc nerf incoming. Like, yeah, we got it. Mercs deserve a nerf. All right, it's confirmed they deserve a nerf. But what I want to say is, mate, I don't want to hear it. Mercs were so shitty in PvP for so long that they deserved to be overpowered like they were. They deserved it. Mercs,
Yo, you're yelling,
dude,
me.
because I'm
Why
telling
are
you,
you yelling at me?
because I feel
Calm down.
very strong about this, dude. Mercs used to go into rank, and people literally used to rage at you just for bringing a Merc into rank PvP. Like, you literally got flamed worse than for if you were a good player on a Merc than for being a bad player on other said class. So Mercs deserve to be overpowered in PvP for a little while. So shut your mouth. That's what I want to tell you.
I would like to say that if the nerf, it better not be too hard, because they're not far off. Like, people, the problem right now is, which is what I've always said, is they have the energy rebounders with the fucking the trauma regulators. So the heal,
Yeah, the heal off the shield.
yeah, but like, say you take away that utility energy rebounders, that's a 2 minute, 30 second heal that immediately becomes way more in line with where they should be.
Yeah,
They're not far off.
They just need to take the heal off of something. If they take the heal off of Reflect, then I think it wouldn't be that bad. If they take the heal off of energy rebounders, I don't think it would be that bad of a nerf. Or if they 75% Kolto, like, that's a lot, dude. Like, I think they should reduce that. Reduce one of those.
But that's the point of it. The point of it is to stop making you attack them. If you're trying to fucking burst through Kolto, you're a retard. Hit something else.
Yeah.
It's your fault.
That's where the skill comes in, as far as like, when do you pop it, when do you use it. And it's like, with all the classes, I feel all of them are like very, like, there's a lot of things that could change, that could just make or break as far as the class goes. Like, Sork would be a great example, right? Like, Mark, I think we talked about this a little bit, but imagine we went back to the days when the consume was off the GCD again. Now all of a sudden you have infinite force, and you will never run out, and you can, like, your output's unreal, DPS or healing. Like, that's one small change, but it completely breaks the class, right? And so there's a lot of aspects in a lot of the classes that are like that. You can change one small thing, and it's a game changer. So kind of going into this class balance talk that, you know, BioWare is working on, I mean, it's not going to be a one-time fix. They're going to do something, and it's going to change the meta. It's going to do, everything's going to shift, and then a month later, they're going to have to do it again because of, you know, they're going to have to find that point where,
you know what I want?
Works.
You want to know what I want? I want,
What do you want?
A fucking power tech that when they go into rank, everybody in the room doesn't say, "Go get the power tech, guys!" Like, that is like, whenever I queue with the power tech, like, if it's on the other team or your team, it's almost a guaranteed that the power tech's team is gonna lose. I don't want it to be like that anymore.
What Merc was last season.
Yeah, like,
thing.
can we balance the classes so it's not like that? So people don't have the raid group. So people don't have the ranked match. I want everybody to be encouraged.
It's always going to be something, though. That's just how it works.
Yeah, I think one of the big things that BioWare talked about today was they explained a little bit more behind the scenes on how in depth they're going through the development process with future changes to the game. So they talked about it like it's one of those things where they're not just getting feedback from forums, they're not just getting feedback from players, they're not just like asking for feedback, they're literally going out hands-on into the community and grabbing the 1%ers, grabbing the people that are in the top 5% of this video game, asking them for changes and asking them to test those changes, which is like, It's incredible. So it is one of those things that it's not going to be, hey, let me change this one thing on this class and then it's going to be fixed. Again, people are going to change the way they play the game, and it's a constantly shifting dynamic in PvP. So the second you change one thing, one other thing is going to come to light, and then everyone's going to take advantage of that, because it's all about competitive. How are you going to remain as competitive as possible? The thing for me with Merc is that it's not necessarily the amounts of things, not the amounts of heals it has, it's the amount of tools it has to avoid or stop people from damaging it. So it's the fact that it can do 3 or 4 things in a row that are going to immediately stop it and potentially make it invincible, than the fact that it has a 75% heal. Like if it had a 50% heal, it probably wouldn't make that big of a difference, because it still has 3 other tools. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But that's the thing that I was saying. If you say you take Reflect away, that hurts a lot. Like the Merc's gonna suffer greatly. Like the only thing that they need to change is take that one utility away, and maybe take the resist from fucking Chaffler. Yeah, so that would give you Reflect, and it would give you 2.5 or 3 minute energy shield and Culto, and you'd be fine. But the problem is when there's a lot of AoE and there's a lot of dots ticking out, it's constantly resetting your shield, so you end up with the 45-second full heal shield. You know, or you end up with the 45-second cooldown on energy shield, which you can use every 45 seconds to do damage back to him with pyro shield and get the full heal from it. That's what makes it broken. So you're constantly having to deal with that, and then when you get bursted, you can Reflect, and then by the time that happens, you've been, if you have a healer and stuff, your shield's about to come back up. It's a combination of them. That's really the thing. It's
like the rotation. Like if they didn't take advantage of the small windows in the tools, it would be invincible pretty much. Like you can go for a long time without and avoid a lot of damage and heal yourself through it. So
yeah. But the balance is, it's gonna be fucked up. Like whatever the balance changes are right now, something's gonna be fucked up, and we're gonna be in the same spot, because you can't give the Sork a thousand DPS. They're gonna fucking wreck in PvP. So it's gonna be Sorks or flavor of the month. It's gonna be the same thing.
Yeah, there's
really,
always gonna be flavor of the month. So right now it's Merc's turn. So it's Rise of the Bounty Hunters. So
unfortunately, Mark, Chris, just like I was saying, I do have to end up going. I have someone here that I have to have a meeting with about future projects with HU and the stream and everything going forward. Is there anything else that we wanted to touch on right before I had to
go? We covered on the healers off DPS a little bit. I don't know if you want to talk about.
Oh, you did? Okay. Yeah. No, that's fine. That's all good.
Anything else you want to say?
Nope. Just have a good stream. And sorry, stream. Obviously. I got some other things that have come up, but it's all for the good of the channel, all for the good of what we're doing here with Star Wars. Actually, I have someone that's going to be working with us going forward, so that's what I'm up to do. And other than that, have a good night, and I will catch you guys later.
All good, brother. Thank you, man.
Yeah, take it easy.
All right, going back to the roadmap, I got one more thing. That new Flashpoint. Pretty excited about that. I like Flashpoint's 4-man content. Hopefully they have a master mode, and hopefully it's actually mastered.
We haven't talked about the Flashpoint or the Uprising in this forum, have we?
Pretty sure we did.
Did we talk about it last time? We did not.
I don't know.
I'm telling
you. We did it with Joe, though.
Yo, we have 120 viewers right now. 120 people out there watching. So if you have not tried it, you need to get on your tune of choice, get a tank, a healer, and 2 DPS, and you need to go try that trial and error junk, dude. Master mode, trial and error. It is awesome.
I literally talking to Keith about this today. It was one of the best experiences that I've had in this game because of how challenging the content was. The only thing that turned me off to it was the fact that it's not as effective. Like what are the biggest rewards from the Uprising for completing it? Like we busted our asses for like 2 hours in that fucking thing, dude. Like what was the potential gain for us?
Yeah, maybe half a CXP pack.
That's what I mean, dude. Yeah. So I hope, and I know that some cool things are happening with that. But for me, like I had such a blast with the fact that there is challenging content and the fact that it's in a different way. Like for me, the flashpoints are like kind of face roll. You know what I mean? Like you can just go clear them all. And then the fact that there's a little bit more difficult content in a 4-man way, like it makes me think. I wish I saw more stuff like that in other games, honestly. Like, and I reacted to it a little bit of a different way because I don't do a lot of uprisings. I do more flashpoints consistently. I do more operations. So like, it's really nice to know that there's a challenge in this game outside of like 8-man content. That's really hard. Like, dude, that was so much fun. It was really difficult, but it was really fun.
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoy it.
I'm looking forward to getting my Revan chest one of these days.
Does anybody have the clip of that? Post the clip. Post the clip right now of the Revan chest. Yeah, those fun times. But
we'll get it one day soon, dude.
Yeah. There was something that I saw in this roadmap also. Oh, the PvPers are gonna get some love. They cover PvP in here, which is good. They're showing the PvPers some love. It seems like throughout history of the game, like the PvPers were kind of got left behind. You know what I mean? They had their maps, and it was a long time before they got a new map. But what is that map that I hate, Mark? That map's got to go, man. Like, what do you think about that map, man? Like,
you're asking me or Joe?
Odyssin. What do you think about Odyssin, Joe?
Odessin.
You're talking about the 5-point hold down point.
Yeah.
What do you?
Okay, so
from a new player perspective,
from a new player perspective, it is the most. What is the word I'm looking for?
Terrible.
It's the least understood map of all of them. So more people go in there not knowing how to play it and get caught up in the PvP as opposed to progressing the objectives, understanding that there are nodes that are going to give you boosts, and those boosts are going to dramatically alter the effect of the end, who's going to win the game, and they get caught up in like, oh, let me fight north, let me fight mid, let me fight right, let me fight left, instead of not engaging so much. Like, people get caught up in these groups and this like pack mentality, which is what PvP is in a lot of games. But that specific map, it does not reward you. Like, you could have a healer and a tank holding down 2 different places, and then you're 4 DPS going and holding down another one, or offsetting another team. So there's a lot of things that the average person doesn't know about Odessin that sets up. I love it. Like, I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love it. It's because the strategy, there's more layers of strategy involved, but I feel like there's a lot of people that don't know. And there's a lot more people that would rather tell you to go fuck yourself than learn and tell you you're an idiot than like sitting there and listen to chat, you know? So for me, like, I ask questions, I ask people like, what should I be doing? How do I go? And they're like, fuck yourself. You know, like, I'm just like, come on, man.
Yeah. I just don't. I get all the strategy and all that stuff. It's just very big, so you can end up like standing at a point for a minute by yourself.
It takes too long to get between the points.
Yeah, that's the problem. So it needs either less points, or the points need to be way closer together, so that you can fight in packs on the nodes, over the nodes, not just stand on different nodes alone by yourself. You know?
Yeah.
I like that though. It's exciting when you're holding a node and you're like, is anybody coming? Are they gonna come get me? What's going on?
I've always been a firm advocate that I think if they put one node right in the middle, and they put those boost points at the 4 corners of the map, those battle mods, if they put those at the 4 corners of the maps and they made everybody fight over the middle, I think that would be super fun, man. You know what I mean? Think about like some of the not hypergates. What's the one that, God, I can't remember, where you go in and you try to place a bomb in the core?
I don't like that one. That's my least favorite.
Not ancient hypergates. The one where you try to break down the doors and go over the bridge. I can't remember.
Oh, Voidstar.
Yeah, Voidstar. So think about like having the bomb in the middle, man, or having the point in the middle, and just everybody fighting over that. Like, there's been times where we're doing Voidstar and everybody is on one door. Think about those kind of fights over one point, and they include those battle mods on the 4 corners, and maybe some of those maybe you get some benefit by one player leaving and going to get a battle mod and making it an instant cast to change points. So that'll draw some players off the points, but the main fight will be in the middle of the map, fighting over that flag or cap point or whatever.
Yeah.
Where I come from, and this is a big thing, and people were talking about it in the BioWare stream today. Like, where I come from is this. So there's a difference between like battle PvP and then objective based PvP, and there's always going to be like from my perspective, like from a newer player standpoint, there's going to be maps where people want to engage in battle, and then maps where you're going to want to engage in objectives. So for me, to have that need or to have that fight, why not just have an 8v8 PvP map? You know what I mean? Like, what is that? Something that you guys would?
They had
team
88s.
No, like team deathmatch. You're talking about.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like team deathmatch. Like, why would there not be another avenue where you could? Because I feel personally like the 4v4 PvP, when you get a queue and like, you know that there's like 30 or 40 people playing PvP, you're kind of upset where it's like, I don't want to, I know I want to get involved in something a little bit more exciting than 4v4 and like not have as much personal responsibility for a new player, especially. Like, I'm okay doing a mediocre amount of everything. But like, imagine if it was, you've got 3 other DPS, 1 healer at least, and then 1 tank on each team at least. And then you're going in and fighting each other like that. I think that would be really fun in a more casual way too. Cause I come from that background in Final Fantasy, like 8v8 PvP in Final Fantasy is chaotic. It's mayhem, but it's really fun.
Yeah. And the thing is, you're not designing a crazy map. It literally is just a square box. You don't need anything special in it, you know? Where like Hutball, you don't need
just
traps. You don't need any of that junk.
Go in and fight. Like,
that'd be awesome and easy to do.
The stream wants me to ask you if regs are serious business, man.
Oh yeah, for real, man. I live and die in regs, bro. I live and die in regs, straight up. I got a regs tattoo on my back, straight up. Reg.
Is it on your lower back? Like
it's the small of my back. Small of my back.
Nice.
I'll let you guys know it's not as serious as those motherfuckers that are throwing fucking grenades at me in regs. That's for goddamn sure.
Oh my god, are you serious,
assessment.
dude? That fucking drives me I think they need to take grenades totally out of PvP, period. Like, that's like, you're making me buy shit to do, like, just take it out. It's dumb. It's dumb. When I get grenaded in PvP, like, it makes me rage worse than I get stun locked. When like I actually get stun locked by actual stuns, like when I get grenaded, I'm like, "Whoo, motherfucker, are you serious? Who uses grenades in regs?"
I tell people this game is buy to win when you fucking throw grenades at me.
Yeah, it's fucking tryhard shit, dude. I mean, well, devil's advocate, shouldn't they take med packs out then too? There's healers.
Yeah, absolutely, but I don't. You get that's something. Okay, give me grenades as rewards then. Give me grenades in my PvP packs. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like, don't make me farm another avenue that it's completely outside of PvP to get something that's going to make me more effective in PvP.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think grenades in PvP are stupid.
All right, so stream, next time you're in a PvP match and you see a purple cog, it's probably TC Thief. Throw grenades at him, please.
Yeah,
all day long.
Grenades are craftables. Well, what if I don't craft? What if I don't want to craft stream? So, anything else on this roadmap you guys want to cover? Let's see.
I honestly think that the biggest things in it are their commitments to changing the quality of life of the game. You know, there are a lot of things that BioWare is developing right now on like a content standpoint, but the quality of life things are going to make it more pleasurable and easier for people to stay involved in the game. The mount movement speed is freaking huge. Like, that's literally just more effectiveness. In increasing your movement speed by 10% is literally cutting 6 seconds off of something that takes you a minute to get to, and that's a lot of time. If it's 130%, it's a huge increase. You're literally just saving time doing the same thing that you'd want to be doing in the game anyway. Those are big, and even though people want to talk bad about it and think it's a very small thing, it is a really big improvement. And on top of that, being able to buy a legacy perk that allows you to gain increased CXP once you have a level 300 class at level 300, that's a huge thing because it's a pain in the ass to get another class up to 300. So anything that they do to make your leveling and the time invested a little bit less for a bigger gain, I think is going to really help this game in the long run.
Here's a good question for you, and let's see if you have the same outlook as me. How has CXP gearing, level 300 tier 4 gearing, the 248s, how has it been for you, and do you think it needs to be adjusted at all? And I'll tell you what I think.
Well, I talked about this today. It's one of those things where I can't share a lot of it, but
well, just your I want your outlook, like you coming to the game and
for
thinking.
me personally, I think that the CXP gearing system is one of the best gearing systems that I've seen in an end game level of any MMO that I've played, because it allows for you to progress your gear